Good morning, church. I sat down to write my email after my morning devotion. I've got to send this email out, but I have too much to say. My thoughts are going crazy this morning. I'm so mad. I'm frustrated. I'm sad. My heart is breaking. We've had another shooting event in our country, and lives have been taken again. And it's past time for this to be over. We wake up in the morning thinking, and probably not even thinking, this could never happen in our community, but it could, and it can, and I can't imagine it happening here, and that scares the heck out of me. I want us to be doing something about it, and it starts with our prayers, but it doesn't end there. It starts with our prayers being in the right place. It starts with our hearts being in the right place. Not to pray to God, to ask God to change and change his heart, but for God to change our hearts and God to change the person's heart next to us. And for us to be trying to match our hearts with the heart of God, because God's heart isn't for these shootings. We have shooting in California, targeting Asian churchgoers. We have a shooting in Buffalo at a supermarket targeting African Americans. We have a shooting at a school targeting children and teachers. God's heart isn't for that, and neither should ours. We've got to start with asking God to change our hearts and change the hearts of people around us, so that we can make change in this world, in the lives of other people. There's no reason for it's senseless. So what can we do? We've got to be more involved in the lives of each other in our community. We have to be partnering with those parents who are struggling with their teens. We have to be partners with those teachers who are just struggling to make it to the finish line this year. We have to be on the lookout for our neighbor who's having a difficult time. We can't just go through our lives in isolation without thinking about what's happening in the life of our neighbor. And what can I do to be a better neighbor? What can I do? I may not be a racist, but I've seen so-and-so, I've seen my neighbor, or I've seen this happen to them, and have I stood up for that? Have I intervened? Have I helped? It's not enough to simply be sad. It's not enough to be mad. We see enough of that on television. The politicians having the same monologues that they always have, the same people saying the same things in the same way. But it starts with us. Prayer's not the ending point. Prayer's the beginning point. Prayer's designed to change our hearts, motivate us, challenge us to get on the same page with God, to be God's advocates, to get out in our world and make a difference. Find that child that's struggling, having a difficult time, just relating with others. We've got to do more. There's got to be more that we can do. Start with prayer. Pray for those who are hurting this morning, those families whose lives will never be the same. That community whose life will never be the same. Pray for those families in Buffalo who are still hurting and struggling and will never be the same. Those churchgoers in Southern California, and we could continue and go on and on and on and on. And pray for your heart to be changed so that you're never the same. So that you'll continue to pursue what God desires for this world. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Lord, have mercy on us all.